It is a topic that only gets worse in the news, texting and driving or texting while driving. Andy Crouppen and Ed Herman of Brown & Crouppen are here to talk more about the legal issues surrounding the topic. Guys, can you?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Right. Texting,
you can get really lost
texting while talking is what you're doing now. This obviously is a very serious issue, and many states are cracking down on it, aren't they?
Yes. And we've just become prop comics, I think.
Right.
One notch below Gallagher. Yeah, you know, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to make sure we talked about this. I think it's so unusual that Missouri is one of maybe the only state in the country who passed a law that said texting while driving is illegal if you're under 21. It's like a rite of passage. You turn 21, you can go to the bar and drink, and then now texting while driving is fine. It's,
you know, my guess is that was a way to get the ball rolling. People are very conscious about having any kind of freedom limited, and that was something that, because it seemed to involve children, we could all get on board with. But I agree, ultimately, it will expand. And we do have other laws in Missouri. We have laws that say you can't drive in a careless and imprudent manner. And I think if you were caught texting and it affected your driving, they could ticket you for that right now. But the law is going to have to expand. I mean, I think this is an issue that our firm really wants to go to the forefront with making sort of these public service type of announcements and let people know that texting and driving is more dangerous than drinking and driving. Well,
and Illinois is a different story, obviously.
Right, right. You know, I think 22 states have passed laws against it. My family, a lot of my family lives in California, and you don't realize actually how much you use your phone while you're driving until you're out there driving, because they're serious about it, they're strict about it, and you find yourself reaching for your phone for directions, for, you know, a phone number, not even texting or phone calls, and it really makes you conscious of how often you're looking at it. Ed and I were just discussing beforehand how there's a big stigma attached to drinking and driving, and everyone knows how terrible it is, everyone tries to avoid it. Yet texting and driving, time and time again, there are these studies that say it's 6 times worse than drinking and driving. You know, most people would rather have you drinking and driving than texting and driving. You know, and the other thing, as Ed mentioned earlier when we were talking, is drinking and driving is usually in off hours, late nights, not as much traffic. People are texting during rush hour. It's much
While
worse.
They're speeding,
and it's not taken nearly as seriously.
But it will be, and I can warn people now. You know, if we're on the case of a victim who's the victim of somebody who is texting and driving, we're going to come at you extra hard, and we're going to present it to a jury, and we're going to show them exactly what was so important that you were texting about that made it okay for our person to be injured as a result.
Do you have such cases already?
They're starting to come in a lot. That's what really brought this to our attention. And, you know, Oprah's doing her campaign now to get people to pledge not to do it.
The no phone zone.
The no phone zone. And I think what I'd like to see is the cell phone companies offer a feature on your phone. They have in-flight modes that disable certain features. I'd like to see an in-driving mode, that if you get a text message while you're driving, it shoots back an auto reply saying, you know what, I'm driving right now, I'll reply to this when I get to my destination. I think it's a simple feature.
I think that people, since we all seem to have cell phones now, we were using our cell phones once we were able to text, it just seemed to be an extension of that. But it's hard to do. It really decreases your attention on the road.
Well, because it takes your eyes off the road.
For iPhone users, there's a very good app called Dragon Dictation. It's free. If you absolutely have to do something, have this app on your iPhone, which a lot of people have, and it's very accurate. You can speak into it, and it'll send the text. You still have to use a few buttons, but wait for a stoplight for that. But Ed's driving mode on the cell phone, thanks. He's just stolen my idea for an iPhone app I was going to retire off of.
You know what? I just want to see safety. It's a very sad thing when anybody's hurt in an accident. When it's something like this, it's really tragic.
Safety at my expense.
Hey, you know what, Ed? You know, I'll take that as long as it's safety.
By the way, 80% in a recent survey support a ban on texting and emailing while driving. So the momentum and the understanding
now
is
the
there.
legislature has to listen to that.
Put our names down on that list.
Thank you, guys. We will. So now it's 80.2%.
Right.
There you go. Thank you very much. Well, if you have a legal question for Brown & Crouppen, email us at greatday@kmov.com.